Welcome, adventurers. What's going on, guys? My name is Cody. This is Taking 20, a channel about all things role-playing games, and welcome back to the unofficial Fantasy Grounds Master Series. So today we're going to talk about creating a character the correct way and how to use the character manager. Let's jump in. Now, when it comes to creating a character, there are two ways to do that. The first of which is just to join your Dungeon Master's game and create your character in that game. The other way to do that is through the character manager. Now, I do want to say that if you are creating something in the character manager, in order for you to have access to any books that maybe the Dungeon Master has specifically for any weird character races or classes or any features like that, then you will also need to have those if you're going to use the character manager, or you're just going to have to only make the character in that particular game. But if you have the appropriate books for whatever class and race you want to make, you can certainly do that in the character manager. So when we load up, the first thing we'll see is down here at the bottom, we see a Manage Characters button. Go ahead and click on that. We're on 5e, no problem. We've got the appropriate theme set up. We want to go ahead and have that nice, pretty 5e Wizards theme and hit Start. Okay, now that we're in our character manager, I want to go ahead and show you guys something really cool because in Fantasy Grounds, they don't have point buy already built in. So instead, if you are using point buy for whatever system you're running, you'll need to go ahead and set that up. So over here on the chat window, you'll notice there are a few different things here for you. You can come over here to this points tab and you can create exactly the way that I've created it here. So from 1 to 8, we'll have a 0 point cost. From 9 to 13, each of those points from 9 to 10 is 1 point. From 10 to 11 is 1 point, and so on. And of course, any points that you want to go up to 14 or 15, each of those ability scores cost 2 points in your point buy. Now, it's very important that while we're creating our ability scores and we're setting these up, what we'll want to do is you'll want to do your ability points before you select your race. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. I've got a couple of points over here on the side that I've kind of done. What you do is you just click on here and you type over it. Now, you'll notice that there's no blinking cursor. It's just barely highlighted here, but it is in fact selected so that I can just type over that field. I can just tab down to the next one, tab to the next one, tab to the next one, and finally 10 charisma to finish this off. Okay, so now that we have the ability scores done first, now we can add in our race and class. So let's come over here and choose our race. What we are going to choose is a stout halfling. So we can just scroll down here till we find halfling and just see this little red dragon or whatever icon for whatever theme that you guys have currently set up. You can just take that and just drag that pretty much anywhere onto this first page here. And then, of course, that will give you this pop-up of which subrace would you like to be. We're going to be a stout halfling, and we're going to go ahead and hit that OK button. So now our race is set. We don't need races anymore. Now let's go over and choose our class. So for our class, we're going to go ahead and go with the rogue. Just go ahead and you see down here you had a few different options. Just go ahead and grab the one from the PHB and drag that right on there. Now, as you drag it on there, it's going to pretty much walk you right through the character creation process. So we can just choose a few of these things. Again, I'm not making really important choices. I'm just kind of skimming through this to show you guys how this works. And that's pretty much it. So now we've created a level 1 halfling rogue. And you'll notice that after we have added the halfling race, our dexterity and constitution have changed because of those racial features. So everything is automatically calculated in. If we had done race or class first before our abilities, that can start to make things a little bit wonky. If you do that, don't panic. You can just go back in over here if you know what they're supposed to be and just type over them. Now, the next thing we want to do is go into our items and start loading this halfling up. Now, again, I'm not going to go with the official Wizards of the Coast halfling setup. This is just more of a demonstration than it is doing things by the book, if you will. So down here on the right-hand side of the character sheet, you'll have a lot of different tabs. So we have our main page, our skills page, our abilities, our inventory, notes, log, and actions. So let's go ahead and slide over here to inventory. And now we can come down here and we can just type in a pack. I know that I want to give this rogue a burglar's pack. Now, this is something that is fantastic for Fantasy Grounds. Especially when you're creating a character that's at low levels and you're using these packs, you can grab one of these packs. I've just typed in pack there. Grab this pack and just drag it over here to the equipment section. And it will automatically fill everything out for you for everything that was included in that pack. It's really sweet. It makes things very convenient. So let's add in a few more things like some armor and maybe a few daggers or weapons for this particular rogue to use. We're just going to drag that leather over there, and then let's go ahead and add in a couple of daggers as well. So for our dagger, we're just going to grab that and drag that in. I'm actually going to drag one more dagger in, and you can see when I did that, it went ahead and increased that to 2 daggers. Everything for the encumbrance will be automatically calculated for you if you guys are using those optional rules. Now, one thing I do want to take note of here is this little column here called carried and equipped. Basically, as you kind of look down here, anything with the bag just means that you are carrying that currently on your character. And if you are equipping something, you want to go ahead and make sure that that is equipped. It is really important to make sure that your armor is properly equipped here. So when I come over here to the main tab, I can see that my AC is 14. But if I come over here to inventory and I just say, you know what, I'm not wearing that leather, I just have it on me or near me because maybe I'm resting, you can see that it has dropped my AC. So if donning and doffing armor is important, then you will want to keep track of that there. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up the background information for our character. Let's click this little backgrounds button. That's going to pull this up. Our particular rogue is going to be a folk hero. So just go ahead and click once on folk hero, and that will bring up this extra little tab here to give you some background information on the folk hero background, some background information on the background. And then for our character, we can slide down here to notes. You can fill all of this information in manually, or if you want to roll on tables or pull up any of this information, you can just grab this stuff. So this is a personality trait. I can just grab this and drag that right there. That's simple. Close this down. Let's go over here to an ideal. Okay, and again, guys, I'm just grabbing stuff. This is not this is not a particular character that I'm trying to create here. This is just an example of how all of this works. Great, and now that we have our background set, we're almost done. One thing that I do want to show you guys is leveling up. So what you don't want to do is try to type over this little rogue 1 here. Don't do that. That's not the way that you want to level up. When it comes time to level up, you can just go back over here to the class tabs, find your particular class, and then just drag it into this main page. When you drag it in, you can see that Rogue 2, my HP has already been calculated and gone up. If I want to do that again, now at level 3, because we're going to have to choose our archetype, now we can choose our specialization. So we're going to go ahead and make this a thief and hit the OK button. And really, that is about it. So let's look a little bit more at the character sheet to kind of go over these tabs so you guys can see what we need to do. On our character tabs here, we can grab these dice rolls and just roll them out here on into the chat window. And our damage will do that as well. One thing that I highly recommend doing is grabbing this dice roll and slapping it down there on your hotbar. And go ahead and grab this damage and do the same thing with it as well. And one of the last things we need to do is we need to get a little image here. Now there are some default images. You of course can create your own, but go ahead and just click on this and grab a halfling here. We're gonna make Pruitt upset and tell him that Roscoe is now a halfling rogue. And so there you go, guys. That is pretty much creating a character in the character manager. Okay, so of course we've created a character inside of our own character manager, but now we want to go ahead and load that into a Dungeon Masters game. So what you'll want to do is just once you load into your Dungeon Masters game, come over here to PCs, and down here you'll go ahead and hit this little edit list, and then you will see this little import character button. Go ahead, just double click that, pull up the appropriate character, and you're good to go. And that's it, guys. It's really that easy. Now you should know how to create a character in Fantasy Grounds. I want to give a huge shout out to all of the kick-ass patrons over at welcomeadventures.com. Guys, it's because of you that I can continue to do what I love doing. And if you like this content, you want to see more content like this, you can support the channel and grab some rewards for yourself over at welcomeadventurers.com. If this is your first time here and you love role-playing games as much as I do, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every week I put out new videos on GM tips, player tips, tutorials just like this, and more. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, just hit that subscribe button down below and come join us. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cody, and may your games be filled with awesome memories and even better friends. I'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.